In this video, I've got a niche to watch for where buyers are paying top dollar for these types of clothing items. And it's one very specific detail that's bold, edgy, and unmistakable, that's showing up in sold comps and outperforming expectations. It's not just seasonal and it's not limited to just one brand, but it's tied to a specific aesthetic. You'll find it in punk, grunge, think moody, rebellious, and bold. Most resellers are missing out on this completely, or they think it just sells well at a certain time of year. But smart resellers are sourcing these items because they know how well they sell. And that's what we're gonna be talking about in this video. So stick around and we'll discuss. All right, if you're new here and we haven't met yet, my name is Lee Meyer. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4, and I've made well over $100,000 net profit flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And now I'm on a mission to help as many resellers as I can be able to hit that $100,000 mark for themselves. Now, I've got so much amazing things lined up in today's video. But before we get going, I want to take a second to invite you to grab some of my freebies. They're going to help get you to that $100,000 mark a whole lot quicker. You'll find them down here in the description below this video. It's where you're going to find things like my best brands list, my list of keywords, as well as a link to be able to sign up for my free $100,000 reseller challenge, where I show you a little known way to be able to get to that $100,000 mark a whole lot quicker. All right, so you are probably ready to know what it is that is selling so well. And this detail appears in a few different styles and looks that are out there, including rock, punk, goth, and grunge. And this detail that we're gonna be talking about is skulls, skeletons, and bones. Buyers are buying these types of items up, whether they are vintage items or current items. Buyers are paying top dollar for these style of items, specifically these types of details. Now, I'm going to be showing you specific sales, and these do come from eBay, but this style is really selling across all platforms, especially aesthetic-based platforms like Depop and Poshmark. eBay just happens to give a pretty good way to be able to research comparable sales and see what things are actually selling for. This first item that we're taking a look at is a Y2K hoodie. And this one is sort of a punk style with pinks and blues, and you can see those skulls there. This was listed for $55, and a best offer was accepted of a little over $37. It's from a brand that is called Guilt Free. You're gonna see this type of theme pop up with a lot of Y2K era items. You're also going to see skulls and skeletons on a lot of band tees. Bands like Metallica, Grateful Dead, Deftones. This is an example of a Deftone t-shirt. This one sold for $175 for full asking price. It is long sleeve, and note the tattoo tribal design on those sleeves. You're also gonna see skulls and skeletons that are common to certain brands. And one of those brands that really incorporates a lot of these bones is the brand Affliction. This is a men's short sleeve shirt. This one sold for $70 full asking price. And like I mentioned, those skulls and skeletons were really popular around the Y2K era as well as the 90s. And you're gonna see it pop up on different 90s eras tees from various brands. This is a shirt that sold for $55 from a brand that is called Fashion Victim. There's another Fashion Victim shirt here that I wanted to show you. This is a made in the USA brand. This one actually does happen to have a Fruit of the Loom tag tag on this item, it is made in the USA. This one had a best offer on it for $110. There was a best offer accepted, but unfortunately I wasn't able to look that up. I did run into a couple of those today. I'm not sure what is going on with eBay, but there was a best offer accepted. I'm just not sure the actual price on that one, but it's very likely that was well over the $50 mark. And it's not just men's items. So you're seeing this theme pop up also in brands like Victoria's Secret. This is a pair of leggings from approximately the Y2K era. It happens to have dogs on it and hearts, as well as skulls. And this one sold for the full asking price of $80. And then this one is a bling hoodie from Victoria's Secret. And this one sold for $225. Again, full asking price. And that bling keyword, if it's got rhinestones on it, that is a really big seller. And especially with Victoria's Secret brand, if you come across any of those older items that happen to have bling, make sure that you're using bling as a keyword because buyers are really searching and paying premium amounts for those items. And then this is a really cute Nordic style cardigan sweater, also from Victoria's Secret. This one had an asking price of $83 and a best offer was accepted. This was another one where I couldn't seem to find how much it actually sold for, unfortunately. But there are many of these different Victoria's Secret items, whether they're leggings or hoodies or cardigans, that are selling well, that buyers are paying top dollar for. You don't even necessarily have to have a big name brand even. This is a faded glory hoodie, i.e. from Walmart. This is an all over print and this one sold for $80 after a best offer was accepted. And then this is another example from a brand that's called Route 66 from Kmart back in the day when that store existed. This is a pair of shoes with a gum sole. By the way, if you're looking for terms like that related to shoes, I do cover that on my keyword poster. And that one sold for the full asking price of $100. And you can see how it has that skull theme incorporated throughout that design. Jinko is another brand where you're gonna commonly come across skulls and skeletons. And this is an example of a pair of men's jeans that happens to have a flaming skull on it. This was listed for $250 and a best offer of $195 was accepted. And then this is a short sleeve t-shirt, also from Jinko, and it also has flames on it. This one was listed for $90 for that faded t-shirt and it sold for $80. Now it is a 2XL and that does help get a little bit more money when you can source those bigger sizes. Note the flame and skull detail there on the sleeve. Ed Hardy is another brand that commonly incorporates skulls and bones and skeletons. And this is a crazy printed skirt that has a skull with an eye popping out, a tongue hanging out. This one sold for $60 full asking price. You're also going to see this theme in goth items, and Trip is a brand that's known for their goth apparel. This is a mini skirt that's pleated and it has some small skull details there on it in metal. And this one sold for $60 full asking price. And anytime you can incorporate those additional keywords on top of what you see, for example, you see skulls, you see skeletons, you see bones, yes, those are good keywords, but anytime you can add aesthetic-based keywords to your listing, that is going to help really get your item in front of the right buyers. And if you need help distinguishing between goth and grunge and punk, as well as you'd maybe like to know some other aesthetic-based keywords that are selling really well right now, I do have these all outlined on my style keywords poster. There should be a link somewhere on your screen, or you can find it down in the description of this video. And then this is a really interesting one. This is a Coach purse. There's stars, there's an 8, as well as skulls. And this one actually got really pretty bid up. It had 12 bids on it and it ended up going for $167.50. And this seller made really good use of the theme in the item specifics. Designer, grunge, gothic, metal, punk, rock. skull, and stars. Anything like that that you can include in the theme, in the item specifics, is going to help reach the right buyers. Even in their description, it says perfect for those who appreciate a rock, punk, or gothic style with a touch of metal or grunge aesthetic. Many of you have been asking if eBay does search the description, and I am seeing some evidence of that, although it typically ranks much lower in the search algorithm as compared to platforms like Depop and Poshmark. Those platforms really prioritize what is in the description when it comes to those different keywords and those different aesthetics like what I just showed you. And then this is another Fruit of the Loom vintage t-shirt that's got a skeleton on it as well as anatomy terms in Latin. This was listed for $250 and a best offer of $160 was accepted. Now, if you love deep dives like this, diving into lucrative clothing niches, then you're going to love my monthly sourcing boxes. Every month, I deep dive into a lucrative clothing niche where we're learning about the best brands to source, the styles to look for, keywords to use, and those little details that can take a $5 item and turn it into a $50 or $60 or $100 flip. Because it shouldn't be about you having to work harder. Because here's the thing, the more that you know, the more you can earn. And I give these boxes away completely free to my VIPs inside of the Empowered Reseller. If you haven't heard about my membership program, this is where resellers are getting the biggest results, the biggest profits, and the fastest sales. It's where I'm able to personally connect with my VIPs, be able to answer questions, even do things like store reviews, account reviews. You get access to the entire Empowered Reseller course vault. I even have a special gift right now where you get all of my keywords that sell resources for free. That's all of the posters, all of the guides. You get that when you join and they're yours to keep. You'll find all of the details in the description below this video, the link to be able to sign up, and I would love to be able to welcome you as a VIP into our community soon. All right, so this is a pair of shoes from Vans that has a glow-in-the-dark skeleton actually on both toes. This one, a best offer of $60 was accepted. And then this is a 90s era Goosebump t-shirt. And this one sold for $81. And to be clear, these items are not just selling at Halloween. These items are selling year around. So do not sleep on these. Even if you come across these during summer months or spring months, go ahead and pick them up, of course, after checking comps. And then this is a really interesting Robert Graham men's button-up shirt. This one has a business in the front, party in the back vibe to it. It's from the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. And you can see that skeleton there on the back. And then the front has more of that traditional look that you would expect from Robert Graham. This one was listed for $450 and it sold for $350. So I hope that you've gotten some ideas as you have been watching along, and I would love to know, have you already sourced these types of items and how are they doing? Or if you haven't, are you gonna be on the lookout for these now? These can be some really good money, as you've seen with some of these sold listings. Go ahead and let me know either way in the comments below this video. I'd love to be able to hear from you and for you to be able to share with the reseller community. It helps us all out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you're looking for other aesthetics to be on the lookout for, not just brands, when you can open yourself up to details like what we talked about in this video and different looks, it opens up your sourcing opportunities as well as your profit potential. And I have another video I'm going to link to up here that covers more aesthetics in depth if that is something that you're interested in. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video soon.